Hey guys, it's Sarah. Welcome back to my channel. So I just want to say thank you for watching, and I really hope you find this video especially enjoyable because I had some input from my audience, and I'm so excited to share this with you. So today's topic is about getting into running and tips and tricks on getting back into the swing of running, whether you've been a runner before and you want to get back into it, or if you're just starting off for the first time. For me, I've been a runner for 7 to 8 years, and I just really enjoy it. It's a therapy session. You know, if I have a bad day, I go for a run, and it just kind of really clears my head, and it just provides a experience between like your body and mind that you really, I can't describe. It's just, you know, a powerful tool, and that's really what got me into my journey about, you know, weight loss and getting healthier, and it really sparked my interest in fitness. So I wanted to share that with you guys. Now that the weather is getting nicer, I have a lot of friends reaching out to me saying that they're going on runs. I am really excited. I love outdoor running, so I'm just waiting for some of the ice to melt around my running route, and then I'm going to be back out there. But I want to give you some tips on, you know, starting. I have a lot of friends that have reached out to me because, you know, they've gone out for a run and something happened, or they want to know what brand shoe to wear. So this is my first kind of intro to running video. I think it's going to be one of several because I know that this is going to spark a good conversation, and I'm so excited that all of you guys are interested in running and interested in running as much as I am, because everybody hates cardio, and I've never found anybody that really likes cardio as much as I am. Call it weird, but I really like cardio. So since it's been so long since I've started out running, it was hard for me to figure out or to kind of think back and say, like, well, what did I want to know at the beginning? So I actually reached out to my Facebook friends and asked what they would want to know if they were starting to get out, you know, outdoors, or starting to get on the treadmill, or just starting to get into running. So I wrote down all of your questions, and I'm really excited to answer them. So without further ado, let's get to our first question. So the first question is, what is a good distance to start with? So when I first started getting into running, if you watch my past videos, you know that I didn't start getting into running until I changed my diet and just felt a little bit more energy. However, when I started running, you really have to take it slow and listen to your body. I started with about a mile of distance. I didn't time myself. A lot of runners will give themselves a time. I'm going to run 30 minutes and see where that gets me. Or they're going to give themselves a distance. I'm going to run this distance, look at my time, see how long it takes me. So I started off with a distance of 1 mile, but I started with interval training, which I highly recommend. Interval training is when you do a slowed pace for a certain amount of time or distance, and then you do like a sprint or an elevated heart rate run, or just a little bit faster than the slower pace for a certain distance or a certain length of time. For example, I started with a mile of running, so I would loosely, you know, calculate what a mile would be on my running route, and I would do like 2 minutes of fast-paced speed walking, and then I would do 30 seconds of sprinting. Or if I got tired of timing myself, I had a timer on my phone. I have a timer. I used to have a watch with a timer. I just have my Fitbit now that's not a timer, but I would just like look at the distance, or I would visually see something in front of me and say, okay, from this point I'm going to run to this point. And kind of, that's how you build up stamina. That's how you know, you take your heart rate from an elevated pace down to a more resting pace, up to an elevated pace, and it's kind of like the same as, you know, pushing a throttle on your car. It really builds cardiovascular endurance and strength. My dog is barking at something. I don't even know. Anyways, anywho, a good distance to start. I started with a mile. If you want to just go for a jog, I would say maybe do like half a mile just to see how far you can do. Or, you know, feel it out. See how long you can go without feeling like you want to die. So, how often should you be running was one of the other key questions. So, when I first started, I would go on maybe a run a week and maybe do a walk for the rest of the week. I try to exercise 5 times out of 7 days. Now that I'm like a weightlifter, I alternate all of my workouts, so I have 1 rest day and 6 days on, but my rest day is usually a yoga flexibility day, or if I'm feeling great, I just do whatever. However, I would say I started off with maybe 1 run a week, and that's what really pushed myself. And then, you know, you slowly progress and your body does start to feel better and you'll start to really notice it. So that's when I started upping how many times I would exercise or go running for a week. So next question, what can you do instead of running? This is the video about running. This came from my wife. So Amy, if you don't want to go running with me, it's okay. It's okay. So the next serious question is about shoes. So, and that kind of leads me into the question after that. So what I did is, when I first started running, I didn't have any running shoes. I just had kind of, I think they were marketed as like training shoes, and they were Nike like Flex Fit, or it's the Duo something. It was a really chunky sneaker. I would say it would be like a walking sneaker or like an everyday kind of wear sneaker when you're not running or doing physical activity. It could be probably good in the weight room or maybe CrossFit. But they were really chunky, and that's actually how I started to get like shin splints and stuff like that, and my whole entire body was hurting. And just to make your transition into getting into running a lot smoother, go to any shoe store or online and just look at different running shoes. There's different styles. There's minimalist shoes. There's ones with arch support. So think about how that reflects into your everyday footwear. Do you wear something with a lot of arch support and then that you know you need while running? Do you have a minimalist shoe? Do you not need arch support? Etc., etc. So I actually have an old running shoe of mine and my new running shoe, which is a year old, but it's fine. So this is my old running shoe, and it didn't really work out for me. This is more of a minimalist shoe. This is the Nike, I think, the Nike Free 5.0. I still have Nike Free 3.0s that I just really loved. That was my first pair of running shoes that I absolutely loved. But as new generations of shoes come out, they change. So I got this thinking that it would be like the old shoe, and it's not. It's really wide at the top. I don't really have a wide foot. I have a really narrow foot. And I mean, these are trash because they're my yard sneakers now, or if I like walk the dogs or something, I'll wear this so I don't get my running shoes completely gross. But yeah, so this is kind of what I had, and this wasn't working for me. So this wasn't working out for me, so I went to the store and I actually got a pair of Under Armour shoes. I haven't had Under Armour shoes since my second pair of running shoes because they completely changed the style and it was not worth the money. Oh, also, like, these I had for 6 months and they completely wore out. Like, these are done. These are done. These are yard shoes. These are doing whatever. I don't care if they're muddy now. These shoes I only wear on the treadmill, or they have a little bit of, they're still pretty white on the bottom, but they still, you know, you can tell that I wear them outside once in a while. Of course, the dog is sniffing my shoes. Hi, hi, hi. So, these shoes have a little bit of a better sole. These shoes still don't have arch support, but they're actually feel lighter than these shoes, believe it or not. They're thicker than these, and the top material just kind of is built a little bit more, and this is my first pair of Under Armour shoes for a very long time, and I'm actually very excited because I found a pair of shoes that I like. So these, I think, I don't know what style these are, but they have the Micro G. I'm not sure if you could see that, if it's too bright. But this is actually very similar to the original pair that I had of these, and then they changed them, and I didn't go back for like 5 years. And these have been on my feet for a year, running on the treadmill, running on everything else. And in a week, I probably run at least, I probably run between 10 and 15 miles a week with these. I only wear them for running. I don't wear them for weight training. I'm very particular about my running shoes, and I suggest that if you are getting into running that you just put a pair of shoes aside for running and don't wear them every single day, because you have a different posture when you run than when you actually are just lounging around and stuff like that, so you don't want to break these in for the wrong use. So I have a question that came to me, and it said how to prevent shin splints. So shin splints happen when you don't have proper shoes. So first of all, go find a pair of proper shoes for you. I can't stress this enough. But also, it could be your stride is just way too wide. Your steps are too far in between. You could be upping your distance too quickly because the muscle that's on the lower front of your leg, it's hard to build that muscle. And with running, you do build that muscle, but it takes a while for it to catch up. So you could be upping your distance too quickly, or your pace might be going too quickly, so you might be running too fast for your body to catch up. So when you get into running, it's very, very important that you ease in and listen to your body, and shin splints are a good way of telling you, like, hey, slow down, or like, hey, like, let me catch up. Also, I will say that your posture while you run is extremely important. Slouching when you run won't let you get any air into your body or anything else, so it's important for you to keep a straight back and just kind of picture yourself maybe with like a string at the top of your head and someone's pulling the string. And I know that that image in my mind helps me stay focused and keeps my shoulders back and my chest up while I'm running, and definitely helps my posture. When you get shin splints, you have a type of run that's like the heel-toe slap. Like, say this is like, you know, the surface that you're running on. A heel, when you come down on your heel when you run, your stance is too wide, so your heel comes down first. So it's like your heel slaps this, and then your foot slaps like that. You want to try an even step. Even if you have to kind of practice it in a mirror for a while, it definitely will help. Also, toe slapping. So if you do, if you run on your toes and only on the toes or right here, like on the ball of your feet, it will, that will affect shin splints. That's what I did. Was I first started, I had shin splints. I read about it for the longest time because I really wanted to run and I didn't want to let that stop me. However, I just really focused on how my foot was actually hitting the pavement. I really just focused on what I was doing, and part of the beauty of running is that you realize what your body is doing and you realize how incredible your body actually is. With that being said, you also have to read the feedback that your body is giving you. So if you're getting shin splints, or if you're having cramps in your side, are you hydrated? What have you eaten today? Check your posture. You know, posture is everything. What really, you know, exacerbated my shin splints was my bad posture while running, because I don't have the best posture to begin with. And then I got better shoes and I focused on my posture, and I'm not sure which one really cleared it up, but I really cleared it up and I haven't had an issue with shin splints ever since. I had a friend ask me how I push myself during a run. So I'll have a certain point where I am running and you hit a wall. Every runner knows when their wall mark is. Like, you're feeling fine 1 minute and then all of a sudden you just hit a wall. And you can stop there. However, I tell myself, okay, 5 more minutes of running. If I still feel like this in 5 more minutes of running, I will stop. 5 more minutes of running is a very, very long time when you're actually running. So, especially on the treadmill when you're just kind of boring and you're not seeing anything new. So I just kind of focus on that. You know, sometimes I listen to music while I run. I pick a song that really, you know, gets my mood boosted, kind of is, you know, inspiring to me. So I really just try to focus on something else, because it's easy to focus on how much your run sucks at that moment. I will say it's so hard to get past that runner's wall, but usually I just tell myself, okay, like, if you can do this, or if I'm running on the treadmill and I can see the distance that I'm going, I say, okay, maybe just do another quarter of a mile, and then check in with yourself and see how it goes. A tip for not hitting a wall, or a tip for pushing yourself, is don't focus on the time, don't focus on the distance. Focus on how you feel, focus on your breathing, just really dig deep inside of yourself and focus on anything else besides the fact that you have hit a wall, or besides the fact that you just don't want to run anymore. Just focus on your breathing, your posture. Especially when you feel tired, your posture suffers, which your breathing suffers, which all of your muscles will get fatigued and cramped when you don't have enough oxygen flowing through them, especially if you're running and still running in the active process of running. So it's important for you to do all of those things, and that's pretty much how I push myself. No matter what, you have to always tell yourself, like, this is better than nothing. So you might not be in the mindset to run, but the important part is that you did it. While it's still better than going backwards, and that's what's important to yourself. And it's important to recognize where you were and recognize where you're going, but also to be present in the moment and see where you're at. Because your body is extremely amazing, and when you treat it correctly, it will do a million things for you. So that's what I want to leave you guys with today. If you have any questions about running or follow-up questions, this is definitely like going to be a 1,000,000-part series about running, because I'm so in love with running, and I'm so excited that you guys are excited about running too. Like, I'm pretty happy about that. I'm happy that I have so many friends that can see the beauty in cardio. So with that being said, I wanted to thank you guys for just watching. It's so amazing to me that people watch my videos. I can't believe that people actually do. And thank you so much for the support. I've gotten so many people telling me how awesome my videos are, and I'm just so excited to create a space where everybody can just be into fitness and into wellness and, you know, just positive about things. So thank you for all the positivity, you guys. You guys rock. Also, if you like my shirt, go to Just Strong Clothing Company. I'm a brand ambassador, so I have a 10% off discount code. I'm going to put in the link below in the description below. So please check them out. They have a lot of awesome stuff. I'm definitely ordering more stuff ASAP. There's a hoodie I definitely want. So take care, guys. I will definitely see you next time. Thank you so much for the support, and keep on keeping on. So, this is a follow-up question for what you can do instead of running, and it's, how do I feel like I'm not dying? How long does it take for you to stop feeling like you're dying? You just have to get into it. This is also from my wife, so she hates running. It's okay. I love running. Opposites attract. Find somebody that compliments you.